Hello. We're going to be quick. I know it's warm. Yes, thank you, Richard. Yeah, very quickly, I'm a graphic designer by training, and I teach as well once a week. Also teach in the region on social innovation or on the subject on how design can change or can improve. Then I'm going to show you next please, a few projects that has got relation to teaching as well as branding and as well as the social innovation. So this is what I do. It's easier to show in pictures. I also curated art exhibitions. It's called Design and Spirituality. Next, please. Yeah, this is what I do next. Yeah. So to me, I think the three aspects that I see in Penang, again, how to brand it, not just on the surface, but it's going into a content which I think Penang already have a really rich content, whether it's from architecture or heritage or stories. And of course, that again starts from communities, which I'm going to show you a little bit of that later, and as well as spaces. Next, please. Neighbor program, yeah. It's next, neighbor program is actually a project that I do out of desperation. Next, of design education in Southeast Asia, because I realized that there's no interaction between colleges in Southeast Asia, especially I mean, all universities, they have all their affiliation with the West in Australia or UK or US or Europe, but except that with their own neighbor. So with that, a few friends who sort of share the same ideology, that we come together and we pull together 5 cities in Southeast Asia. There is Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Luang Prabang, and also Bangkok. And that's 5 cities that come together about 5 years ago, that we started to do workshops. The whole idea of a neighbor, put it very simple, is basically a sharing of resources. It's like how you talk to your neighbor. I'm not sure whether you still talk to your neighbor, but back then, we were friends to our neighbor. I remember I go to my neighbor to watch TV, because it's not that my TV is not good, but theirs is much bigger, has a much better sound system. And they came over to my mom and asked my mom to teach them piano. So I think this is the whole idea of neighbor, and we try to manifest it slightly ahead of ASEAN, because we know that the idea of ASEAN has been there forever, but it's never really realized because of the self-interest. So we sort of make it work in this smaller way. At the moment, with just 5 cities. Yeah. More pictures, but we have to go to the next. Yeah. So this is the last trip that we have in Kuala Lumpur with the 5 cities, and of course we visited a lot of our friends. Each time that we meet, there will be a theme. So that theme will become the point of research. So we have started with grocery stores. You know, there's grocery store in any cities in Southeast Asia, and this is slowly being replaced by, you know, the supermarkets like Giants and so on. So this is what we try to document, and in Jakarta and Bandung, we document the subject of textile, and this round in KL is about the urban development. Next. So that's the other projects that I work currently with a few friends that we call ourselves amigos, that we come together and we sort of have the idea of coming together and do something good in our remaining lives, because a lot of them are probably past 50 and has been serving, you know, the rich or the tauges, you know, for many years, and now they want to do it for the other 90%. Next. So it is actually a friend. It started with this friend of mine who's a monk who has been wandering in forests of Thailand for 15 years. He came back after 25 years that we have not met each other, and he asked me if I can put a team together and help him to build an orphanage in the northern Thailand for the Hill tribes. And we sort of put a sort of dream team together, and Saxon, which is the owner of this building, he was the architect, as well as Chris Wong, and also a few friends of ours who want to do something and make a difference. So we went to Mae Hong Son, which is at the border of Myanmar and Thailand, and the land that's been bought is a beautiful land. Within the same trip, we started to design, and we packed the lands. Within a year and a half, the building is up, the children move in, and from last year onwards, I started to sort of bring content in to the children. We have already done English classes, we have done art classes, and we are bringing friends, even from Shanghai, to teach them how to do desserts based on whatever material that they can find locally in Mae Hong Son. It's a very interesting project because we sort of had the idea of having them not always ask for donations, but rather how to be self-sustained. So we bought a piece of land nearby, which is across the river, and we are building a homestay or rest house for those who want to go there to spend a few days or more to help the students, or to do a meditation trip. So then they will pay whatever they want to pay, and the money will go to the orphanage. So this is how we thought, and of course within the environment, you can see that on the rooftop, the children are planting. They are farming around the building, as well as on the top, on the roof of the buildings. So these are some of our friends. We make a frequent trip to them, to there, and these trips, these kids are by and large from Hmong or Karen, and just recently there's this girl been adopted. So we are now panicking. We are trying to get help from the human rights. And because they have the culture of adopt the girl and marry the girl straight away. So that is the issues that we are facing. Next. Yeah.
客仔成日嚟幫襯我哋，咁我哋做一個善事功德，俾客仔歡喜下，哇，好歡喜啊！有一個驚喜。
咁我而家點樣樣咧？冇就我攞條攞去出去食啦。
你攞去食，你就呢可以捐起康。
呢張我哋傳統都係有咁樣嘅嘢，讓一定愛幫助人、幫助社會、幫助咩嘢。你成日顧住自己，呢個成個社會咧就會冧啊！咁樣一個少少嘅活動，咁樣去俾你哋知道，大家可以幫助大家，俾獻出最好嘅嘢。
So this is a case that we did for a client of mine, where they approached us to help to do a campaign for them and to tell people how good they are. But then we say, well, you are really good. You're probably the top brand on dry meat. Why do you want to tell people how good you are? They say, well, but we do it every year. And then we do a little bit of investigation into their culture, their values. We realize that they have the culture of sharing. They always go to, they are the long-term supporter of lion dance in Malaysia, and they give a lot of money to different Chinese schools, and they do it frequently, but not documented. So we say, why don't you give it away? With the money, the budget that you have, do something and to encourage the idea of sharing. Sharing is not just because you have money you give, but rather you inspire people to give as well, because giving is not really about money at the end of the day. It's more about your time, your talent. So we sort of kicked off with a few events of unexpected giving. You know, like you go to Petaling Street, we start from their own communities. So from Petaling Street, from different markets, that you see people giving away fruits. You go buy fruits, and they say, well, it's free of charge today because it's been paid forward. So you then use the money that you want to give to help someone else. So we thought that this is one of the good ways. And when we started to do this, nobody dared to take, to not pay because they thought that it's either a scam or it's either promoting a brand. But then as you see the video, there's no brand. No one knows what exactly this is. But then people start to take pictures, talk about this and about the idea of giving. And then they saw the video, and the video also preached about the idea of giving, which is relevant to the brand. Next.
當然呢一次推動呢一個咁樣嘅運動，希望能夠影響多啲身邊嘅朋友啦、親戚朋友啦，甚至乎自己身邊做生意嘅拍檔都一齊去做好事。
施比受更有福的这个活动，如果我们可以把它草根化的话呢，就是让普罗大众都有这个福气去施去受，那这个是我们最大的目的。There's no free lunch， 基本上这个就是最大的问题不管是从普罗大众到商家，他们都很难去接受这个概念，这个就是我们最大的问题。
Blessed is he who gave than to receive。
我爺爺都影響咗我哋做生意嘅方式咁。因為佢一直以嚟都係以回饋社會嘅方式去做生意，咁導致我哋好想去延續佢一個咁樣嘅一個信念，去推動一個咁樣嘅運動。
我相信施比受更有福的這個運動，可以把我們彼此間的那個冷漠差異給拆除，重新恢復過去社會的那個互相扶助的那個精神。
今次我嚟除咗無條件咁送出6000包肉乾，為咗回饋社會之外咧，我哋都有同一啲弱勢社群啦，同埋一啲藝術團體去配合多項嘅慈善活動。其實好多時候唔一定係錢。或者係物質上嘅嘢，只要你俾少少時間身邊嘅任何嘅人事物，其實就已經足夠啦。
能施是福，能受也是福。
So what's take away for the client is basically they thought that this is a campaign, but we say no, you don't just do a campaign, but you have to live it out. And to build a brand, in a way, is not. It has a lot of honesty, trustworthiness, predictability. You can't just do this today and do that tomorrow. So with that, they continue the movement, not just every year, every few months. To encourage people to give the ideas of giving that, if I'm the one that sell noodles, for maybe a couple of hours, I can teach you how to make noodles. If I have an hour a week, I can teach English, then I will teach English. So that sort of idea of communities, the idea of giving, start from their own communities, and hopefully it can spread to the whole nation. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that. It's not so much a question as a comment. It's a story I want to share. I have a particular love for Taiwan, Taipei, because 15 years ago when I was there for the first time, I got off the plane and I was a little bit lost, and a Taiwanese person comes off the plane with me and he goes, "Where are you going?" So, hang on, pull out the map, I'm going here. He says, do you know how to get there? I said, no idea how to get there. Okay, let me take you. So he brings me to the bus, right? And then says, there, that bus, it's leaving, when's it leaving? It's leaving 2 minutes, get on that bus. Well, I don't have a ticket. Oh, you buy the ticket there. Well, I don't have money, we just passed the ATM. Oh, no problem. He buys the ticket for me, puts me on the bus, says, good trip. So I'm on the bus, and I'm riding away, and then people, I think probably one of the only 2 foreigners on the bus. There's about 2 dozen other people there. And I'm looking at the map, and this Taiwanese lady, Taipei, leans over and says, where are you going? And here, oh, I'm getting off at the same stop. And so I'll tell you where to get off. So I get off, and then she hails a cab, and says, get in with me. I get in the cab with her, and she drives, drops me off, and then I go, oh, thank you, but I can't, so don't worry about it. She turns around and goes the other, so clearly I wasn't on her way, right? She made this huge detour to drop me off. I'm like, wow, great. And then I call up my boss at the time, it was a new job, new employer, and he goes, wow, you got here so fast? Yeah. And then I said, but wait a minute, I need an ATM. He's like, well, how the hell did you get here without any money? It's like, well, that's a long story. And so, for me, this culture of giving in Taiwan is not new, right? That's, when I think of Taiwan...
For Chinese, actually for Asians, it's not new. Yeah.
But this story, to me, it was very, very Taipei, right? And so for me, it's not new, and I think it's marvelous that you've pulled it out. I think it's, thank you for showing that, that's beautiful. And it just made me think, like the question that was earlier on from tourism, like how do you pull out the important things of Penang? I think it's great to ask the people who are passing through, and I've told this story as many times as I can because it's such a beautiful story of Taipei, Taiwan, and so on. And and then I see your movie and I go, wow, that's my story 15 years ago, right? And
Excellent,
it makes me like want to have that kind of campaign around Penang to say, ask the people who are here, what makes Penang special to you? Have it told in this type of format, right?
Excellent.
Which I'm sure Manuel is going to talk about a lot later on. But just wanted to say thank you for that because a very personal story for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing this with us. I think for the Chinese community in Malaysia, perhaps this is something very new in the sense of giving. But of course, in the Muslim community in Malaysia, zakat donation is a very big.
Yes.
It's perhaps something that perhaps doesn't show up as clearly in your video, but I just want to highlight that it's actually a very big movement within the Muslim community.
Too, yeah. Zakat is it's like a tithe. It's like a tithe to the Muslim communities, right? Yeah.
Hi, I just want to add on because what you share about your experience in Taipei. Actually, last time I have this creative director which is from Singapore, and then he's in a cab. And the cab driver have no idea how to go to Damansara, so they kind of lost. But the thing is, I know, so they wind down the window and in the highway, they're asking the car next to it, and the guy is actually lead them all the way to our agency. And I think these kind of things that it's not like they just do it without it's just subconsciously doing it, and they just do it from their heart. And is that happened in Penang also? Like they instead of telling you turn left or turn right, they just say follow me. And for a lot of tourists, I know where are you? But I think it's a very common and it's a very kind of like generous practice of Malaysian. Is one of the ways. Sometimes they have language barrier, but they just show you how they welcome you by the act. I mean, that's what some of my foreign friends telling me. So I think just want to share with everyone.
Thank you. Excellent.
Hello. So I just would like to make a remark very quick because this presentation is very close to what I do, and it's, as you saw, it's conveying a lot of ideas, and it's creating a link between who people are, and it's not always known, and what they do for each other, and a form of, how can I say, promotion of what's going on in the city First, locally, and of course, if it's well implemented, it could become international. So what I just want to say is that it's very important. What is the link between what is local and where you want to go? What is your dream, you know? And it's obviously media. And you have to understand how to handle this media. And of course, it has to be authentic. We heard that word a lot, because that authenticity needs to be showcased, you know. And I think that what Joseph is doing is very close to what I'm doing. And it's not just about giving. It's so much bigger than that. There's so many aspects of society that can be showcased, and first make people locally feel extremely good about themselves, because that feeling is what triggers change. And it's what triggers everything else. What attracts talent? That attracts talent. You know, of course, lifestyle and everything you can do for them. But if you want to know how to attract talents, this is a way to do it. You have to be real, true, and you have to make it known.
It's content at the end of the day is what tells stories. I remember a few years ago, we worked with USM with 3 other schools from different cities. One is from 中央美院 Beijing. I remember one student from Beijing, he and the team just go around Georgetown and photograph the wall. And then he just make a very simple animations of this so-called textures on the wall, and with some classical music, turn it really loud. And I see people in tears. So that's amazing, the impact of the colors, you know, the heritage, the textures been there for 100 years, and it all brings alive by one team that consistently took the same image all over Georgetown. And we give them an award, and that's amazing. Yeah. Some Baroque, yeah, that's like turning really loud, and it's so nice. Yeah. Yeah, just a movement of giving. Yeah, I'll show you later. There's a few movies we made.
I'm going to add one story and I'm going to shut up. 16 years ago, I had this scholarship to travel around the world a couple times, and I took big advantage of it. But I was in Thailand, and I had an allergic reaction to Thailand. I hated Thailand with a passion, and I'm not apologetic about it, because I was a walking piece of meat. Everywhere I went, somebody was trying to sell me sex or drugs. Right? It just drove me nuts. And so I decided to escape from Thailand. And I took a one-long bus down to Malaysia. I said, I need to get the heck out of here. I hate this place. I get to Kuala Lumpur. I get off the bus, and I'm walking along, and some guy comes up to me and starts talking to me. And I go, oh, you gotta be kidding. Here we go again. He's being friendly. He's going to talk to me, and he's going to try to pull me into somewhere to sell me something, right? And we walk a couple blocks, and I'm just waiting for the sales pitch. It's just, nothing's changed. A couple blocks down the road, he says, okay, I'm going to work over there. Anyways, have a good day. Hope you enjoy KL. And he left. And my reaction coming from Thailand was like, wow, he was just being nice. He didn't even try to sell me anything. He didn't try to. And so coming back to your story, right? Those are another one of the reasons, many reasons why Malaysia also has stayed close to heart. But pulling out those stories and telling them in a very local way, and I think that'll be a big theme of today. Something I want to come back to after Emmanuel has presented, but how we tie global without killing the local. And pulling out these stories, I think, is going to be absolutely critical.
I'll share a quick line. I've been in this region for about 25 years, and I've lived in about 16 of the cities in here, in Asia, Southeast Asia, Far East Asia. And the two areas that I find has far, far, far more humanism is Taiwan and Malaysia, by far compared to other places. And I think that's one thing that is very difficult to tell that story in branding. We have to be fantastically smart. And I hope the collective of all the people is going to give us some clue to do that. Anyway, have a nice lunch.